So you've probably seen, we got mailers from the district saying, hey, if the parcel tax isn't passed, it'll be a disaster. They'll have to lay off teachers. They'll have to increase class sizes.
Yep.
Programs that we all love, like art or music or pick your favorite program, that program will have to be peeled back or eliminated because we just won't have the kind of funding. I think that concerns a lot of people because people want the quality education that we traditionally offer. Is that what's going to happen?
That is not what's going to happen. There's a couple of reasons for that. One of them is that, as we've talked about, the number of students is decreasing while their revenue goes up. It just isn't a gap that the parcel tax is filling. That's why we have $100 million in the bank, $75 million of which is excess beyond what any reasonable reserve level is.
Right.
Now, that $100 million isn't just a sign that we've collected more money than we need. It's also a buffer and a resource if there's a transition period that has to happen when we lose the parcel tax. If there is a gap between revenues and needs for a year or two, we got $100 million that we could spend. Now, compare the size of the projected parcel tax revenue, $12 million to $75 million. We've got years and years and years, but we've got property tax revenues increasing at a rate of around 5 to 7%. If we see that increase, which is, we've seen property taxes increase in Palo Alto for 50 years, then any gap is quickly going to get filled with increasing property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just no way, literally, that we are going to see any impact of losing the parcel tax unless the school board decides to make cuts rather than spend the money that the taxpayers have already sent, which would be a extremely silly idea. It's a terrible tax. When they needed extra revenue, it was really the only available revenue that they could count on. 25 years later, we've renewed the parcel tax, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And so it's become a kind of a habit. It's on autopilot.
Like a Netflix subscription that you forgot about.
Exactly. And not just the renewal of the parcel tax, but also I think the arguments for the parcel tax are also on autopilot. It was true for a long time that in the absence of the parcel tax, the district was going to have to make cuts. And that was true. 15 years ago, that was true. If we were going to have to cut art and have dozens of layoffs and so forth, then that's a very compelling reason to vote for the parcel tax. It still sounds compelling. It's just not true anymore.